So guys, as you saw in the thumbnail and the title of the video, this is our new project car. This is the cheapest, highest mileage Subaru Crosstrek hybrid that I could find for sale online anywhere. And we're gonna look at everything from front to back on it and see if I got a great deal or a bad deal. Let's see everything wrong with this super cheap hybrid Crosstrek. All right, guys, so we'll start like we always do, taking a look at the exterior and interior of the car. We'll then go under the hood, under the front of the car, under the back, and see every single thing that we can see that is wrong with this car. Now, overall, it is in beautiful condition on the exterior and interior. There's only a couple little issues. We've got a little bit of hazing on our headlights here, which is to be expected. We do have a broken grille. Now, the person I bought it from said that it was like that when they purchased it. But who knows, we got a couple little chips on the paint here. Now, we do have evidence of some body work at some point. There are some runs in the paint and a couple little bad places. So apparently it had a little bit of a front end collision and they repainted the bumper and didn't bother to mess with the grille. And we do have a slight little dent right here in the hood. Coming on around, we've got a little bit of a scuff on the right front fender. We've got kind of a crease here. And we got a couple small little dents. We should be able to PDR those with no big concern, no big issue. Down the side of the car, a couple little scratches, things like that, to be expected for a 10-year-old car. Otherwise, again, paint's in good condition. We don't really have any clear coat peeling, anything like that. Just a couple of scrapes and scratches, things we can probably buff out. So nothing too alarming. The grille is the main concern and the dents on the fenders. And I'm locked out. I don't have the key fob. Hang on. Now, our wheels are in pretty good condition, aside for this one that's got some scrapes and scuffs on it. Not sure what happened there. It's not really curb rash. It's kind of all over the place. Got the key now, so put it in my pocket. We should be able to just grab hold and unlock. And it does have the tan leather. Everything's in really good shape. Seatbelt's a little dirty, but that tends to happen, as well as the headrest with the light colored interiors on these. The parking brake boot has a little bit of wear and tear on it, and our main concern for the interior is that the leather is peeling off of our steering wheel, and it's looking pretty shabby. The person I bought it from had a steering wheel cover on it. Don't like steering wheel covers, pulled it off, and yeah, I see why they had the cover on there now. But other than that, it's loaded up. It's got all the options, got all-weather floor mats. We got navigation, touchscreen, automatic climate control, all the stuff you'd expect on a limited touring hybrid Crosstrek. Back's in really, really good condition. We are missing a floor mat on the passenger front. For some reason, we've got a carpeted floor mat instead of the all-weather floor mat, but all the rest is the all-weather. Got the hybrid there on the all-weather mat for the back. Missing the roll-up. I wish I'd taken the one out of my 2013 Crosstrek before I sold it the other week. And no rear seat back protectors. But I do believe that the cargo area floor is a little bit higher in this than my 2013 was for the battery pack. One thing I don't like about the hybrid model, and a lot of people do like, are these tail lights. They are hideous in my opinion. I wish they kept the regular red tail lights. I don't like this Altezza style of tail light. Not super keen on the hybrid wheels, but they're a one-off for the hybrid model, so they come with it, as well as the chrome on the door handles. So guys, I did fail to mention on the exterior walk around that we are missing the fender liner for the right front sad face, as well as our Subaru emblem is missing from the beauty cover double sad face. Now, we do have a Subaru genuine battery here and a Subaru genuine battery here. Yes, the hybrid has two. You've got your regular 12-volt accessory battery, and then you've got a super deep cycle battery for the auto start-stop system on the car. Now, one thing I noticed right away, aside from this hideous, disgusting Fram oil filter, that big old glob RTV right there on the timing chain cover. Now, the prior owner to the car did give me a big fat receipt from Subaru, local Subaru dealership in Asheboro, North Carolina. This car had the engine removed and fully resealed. New head gaskets, cam carrier reseal, cam covers, timing chain cover, brand new timing chains, everything. We do see that this hose is sucked in, right? You see that? The hose is sucked in. Why? Because the cap is bad. Why is the cap bad? Because the flap in there, the seal, has swollen. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. There's a lot to go over. Because there's oil in here. There's still oil in the cooling system. So they charged this customer $5,000 for an engine reseal, head gaskets, cam gears, all of that mess. And they didn't flush the oil out of the cooling system. So the cap is ruined. There is some oil in here, oil slick. There's some oil in here. How lazy can you be to charge someone that kind of money, do all that work, and not do the basic cleanup? I mean, it's infuriating. It's aggravating. The cap doesn't even want to go back on because that's so swollen from the oil contamination. So I need to get a new cap. And we saw from that top hose being sucked down, the flap couldn't open and allow the overflow to be pulled back in the radiator. So there was a vacuum on the hose and collapsed the hose. We were a little low on coolant. I topped it up. But yes, there's oil in there. This top hose is very soft and swollen and oil soaked. That should have been taken care of for a $5,000 bill, but I digress. So anyway, new head gaskets, all of that stuff, engine resealed, new timing chains, all that good stuff. Well, then there's another bill for another $1,000, and that was for a PCM. So it had an issue where, once the timing learned values get out of whack, Subaru said you had to replace the PCM. That's no longer the case. And at the time of the replacement, it was not the case. Alltel scanners and several others let you go in and clear the learned values in the PCM for that issue. So, big issues I know of. The air conditioning does not work. Now, I'm assuming it's a very easy repair, that there's a O-ring seal somewhere, or they didn't recharge it after the engine out service. I just pulled the Schrader valve off, or Schrader cap here, stuck my screwdriver in the end. There's no charge in the system. So that should be fairly cheap and easy to fix. Our drive belt is a little bit worn. Now, the drive belt's super important on the hybrid because of this massive generator starter conglomerates here. It's got double tensioners on it, and that belt needs to be able to turn the engine. So a worn belt on a hybrid is a big concern, more so than on a regular, just non-hybrid Subaru. And there is that big old generator starter conglomerate with its dual belt tensioners. It looks like it's a fun time to get in there and change that belt. Now, this belt is wider than the standard belt. You see the pulley is wider on the crank and on the water pump and this idler. So, got to have all that to hold the tension. As you see, the intake manifold is drastically different than other Subarus. No throttle body up here. The throttle body is actually underneath right here. It kind of throttle body and then swoops under to the intake and then spiders off, because our airbox is back here with our air filter, a mass airflow sensor, and our snorkel, because we've got this auxiliary battery. This is normally where our airbox sits. We have a pipe going back to our throttle body here. That is no longer the way it is packaged with the hybrid. There's lots of differences here. We'll get into that in later videos. So as far as what's wrong with it, probably want to put a belt on it, change and throw away this disgusting Fram oil filter, repair the air conditioning, recharge, find our leak. Have not pulled open the airbox, but I'm assuming with all the engine work, they at least put them a newer air filter in there, but can't be too sure. I've never opened one of these hybrid air boxes, so I'm not sure how difficult it is to get in here to the air filter. I don't know if I need more than just popping that up and go, or if I need to go get some tools. I'm not really gonna mess with that right now. I'm trying to get this done pretty quickly. So we'll check that at a later date. But overall, the engine should be very healthy. Again, it just was resealed within the last 5,000 miles. I'm not too worried about this. I don't think we got like an upper oil pan O-ring leak or something like that. I'm just thinking that they did not thoroughly flush the oil from the cooling system when they did the reseal, and contaminated the cap, the hose, and the overflow. At least I'm hoping. Now, I do know, I don't have, let me see if I can light this up for you, but our PCV union is leaking. They did all of that reseal, $5,000 bill, and they did not change the PCV union And we got a leak. We got a coolant leak right there. It's wet right now. Another really surprising, disgusting move that if you're going to charge a customer for a full engine resale, head gaskets, all of that, you're not going to change the PCV union. But again, gonna get mad. Now looking on the outside here, we've got a almost brand spanking new set of Yokohama Geolandar tires all the way around. Great, like $800 set of tires. Looking at the rear and at the front, it looks like we've got brand new brake pads all the way around, or fairly new. I can't get you a good shot right now, but I checked them when I looked at it the other day, and the brakes are basically brand new as well as the tires. So looking really good right there. So guys, this is really infuriating to see. $5,000 repair bill for an engine reseal, and we've already got oil leakage. Hasn't been 10,000 miles yet. Just look at that. And it doesn't even look like they cleaned up anything before they resealed this and just gummed RTV everywhere. And we got a big old trail of RTV between the head and the block on the edge of the head gasket. You're not supposed to have that much of RTV on the head gasket leading edge. It's only supposed to be a little bit up near the timing chain cover. That is a good ways down the head gasket. So yeah, we got oil leakage. Great. Exactly what you want to see after having the Subaru dealership reseal an engine. And yeah, just piss poor work here. Nothing, no excuse. It's just what it is. On the bright side, I did find our Subaru emblem is sticking up right there in our washer reservoir, or right there near our washer reservoir. Let me see if I can dig it out of there. And there we go. Hey, well, at least we got that. I'm getting destroyed by mosquitoes right now. All right, so we've got our emblem. Now, as far as our front suspension is concerned, ball joints, all that stuff looks good. I've looked it all over. There's a little bit of rust under here. This car originally came from Virginia, according to paperwork I found in the glove box. But otherwise, we're not looking too bad. We do need a right front axle. It is popping quite a bit when we turn. So we will need to add an axle to the list of things that this car needs. And would you look at that? We got more oil leakage, of course, and tons of RTV globbed in here. We got a little bit of rust right here on this frame rail. Again, Virginia car, before it was a North Carolina car, but yeah, that's pitiful. We also got oil leakage at the back of our upper and lower oil pan. A lot of RTV up in there. And yep, we're leaking already. Again, it's been, I think it was 8,000 miles ago this was resealed, and that's just sorry. The Subaru dealership must have had a greenhorn on this job. But looking at our CVT, it is nice and dry, thankfully. This is not a TR580, it's a different transmission because of the CVT drive, or the hybrid drive in it. But no leaks there. Doesn't look like we got any axle seal leakage, anything of that nature going on. So moving on to the rear of the vehicle, everything looks really, really good under here. There's a little bit of light rust, but nothing jumping out as horrific. No leakage from the rear differential. Rear diff bushings are in good shape. We got a little bit of rust here at the exhaust switch, to be expected. Again, the car originally came from Virginia, but it's nowhere near rusted out or rotted out. Still in really, really good shape. All of our bushings, control arms, lateral links, all that looks very good too. No loose bolts, anything like that. Nothing jumping out at us as being super obviously wrong. So looking like a clean bill of health as far as our suspension and all is concerned. Just got a little bit of a concern with that engine reseal from Subaru and Asheboro. So guys, there you got it. 198, 373 is our mileage, and everything's looking great, right? We're looking good. We got a little bit of oil leakage from the engine reseal. Air conditioning needs a recharge. We need an axle on the front. Nothing really catastrophic looking, right? There's got to be a catch, right? Well, there is. Now, when I first bought the car, every single light was on the dash. It could have been like that whole country song, said that every light in the house was on, every light on the dash was on. Now, I've gone through, scanned, and I've deleted all the codes, and I wrote down what I had, because I know primarily what our issue is, and that's the good old valve body failure. Not specifically the valve body, but our solenoids in the valve body, and we know that it is a complete assembly. You can't buy the solenoid separately. So I'll go ahead and put our codes on the screen now, but we had a PO700, which we all know is just a generic transmission fault. We had the 2764, which we know is for the torque converter clutch solenoid. We had a PO971, which is another valve body related solenoid code. We had a 1424 and a 1431 for ECM and automatic transmission abnormality. Again, I think all of that was triggered off of the valve body issue. Then we had a POA7B for the hybrid system, but I think that's just a generic code that if there's an issue anywhere, that hybrid code pops up. I think that the transmission issue triggered that hybrid system cut off and was not usable while everything was on. Hybrid system's working perfectly fine right now. I've drove it around, and as long as I'm not driving above the torque converter clutch activation speed, which is about 25 mile an hour or so, nothing has popped back up. So I believe if we replace that valve body and do a relearn, we should kick everything's butt that was plaguing this car, and that's about $800 for a valve body, about $200 for CVT fluid, and a pretty easy service because it's under the hood on these. Again, not a TR580, it's like a THX or TX or TH580, something like that for the hybrid. I'll look in the door jam and show you in a minute. But yeah, other than that, everything seems to be hunky-dory okay. So you're probably wondering, all right, how much did you pay for the car? And I paid $2,900. You tell me, guys, down in the comments, did I get a great deal? Did I get a bad deal? What are your thoughts and feelings on this being a $2,900 car? Again, we got to put about $1,000 in the CVT, about 170 bucks for an axle, and probably just refrigerant and O-rings for the air conditioning. And that's the majority of our issues. We're not really going to worry about the oil leakage from the poor resealing of the engine. It's not dripping. It's kind of a back burner thing right now. I don't feel like pulling the engine and going through it again. We're probably going to flush the cooling system, put a radiator cap on it for the oil contamination, and we'll probably put a PCV union and hose there to fix that little bit of an issue. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did I get a great deal at $2,900 for a 14 hybrid with 198,000 miles, or am I a big old idiot? So guys, there you have it. Super cheap, high mileage Subaru Crosstrek hybrid, Generation 1 hybrid for Subaru. What are your thoughts and feelings on this as a whole? Again, did I get a great deal, or did I shoot myself in the foot? There will be plenty of videos to come in the future on the Subaru Crosstrek hybrid. For all of you that have been wanting hybrid content or talking about these older hybrids, we're going to be diving into it. So we got lots of repair videos en route between at least the CVT, the axle, and the air conditioning. But we'll see what else crops up after we do those repairs and tackle it as it comes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one.